How's it going, gamer? You got hands here, and today in Dauntless we're going over a build for Rezakiri Strikers. We're definitely getting ready for the Umbral Escalation, y'all, that's happening next week. So start grinding, start getting all your mats so you can level up your gear and prepare for this awesome event, an awesome escalation. The new boss Thrax, which looks like a giant centipede monster creature. Man, that legendary ability that lets you teleport and slam back down on the ground. Man, who's not excited? This build features some really good damage, y'all, and it's got some decent attack speed. But later in the video I go over two different ways to where you can increase the attack speed. But remember, you'll be losing damage if you choose to do that. And this one right here is the straight up raw damage build that I do show you. And you saw me hit over 5k damage, and it was awesome. And remember, we're hitting such high damage because we're using Drask's Eye, Lantern, and Zeal. Zeal boosts the effectiveness of that damage boost on the insta-tap button for the lantern, so that really matters in terms of damage. And when you use that tap, make sure it's right before your third mantra, that giant clap, because that will maximize your damage, because remember, it only lasts a few seconds long, but it's really good. Hey, so if you like this video and you want to see more, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and click on that bell for notifications so we can stay together as a crew. You know what's coming next. Turn on your system, grab your strikers, and let's get ready. We're about to get in this video right now, y'all. What is up, gamer? I am super excited to show you this build because, man, we are getting ready for Umbral Escalation. Thrax looks amazing. The new legendary ability looks amazing. So I'm definitely throwing down builds that have to do with radiant damage, and we're going to be having a few of them happening over this time period before Umbral Escalation comes out. But before you get me talking about all that stuff, let's just hop into this build, because that's why you're here. You're going to want to get Hands of Dawn, which is Rezakiri Strikers. The cool thing about them is they have Cunning Cell on them, and it has a 10% chance for the attacks to hit twice. So that's pretty cool, and we're going to work with that in this build to optimize that. You're going to want to put a Cunning Cell in there, and then next you're going to want to put a Discipline Cell. The best, most awesomest special in mod is Titan's Crash and Cyclonic Stripe Plate in terms of damage. It's really great. For the headpiece, we're using Helion's Helmet. That has a Rage Hunter cell, and we're going to put a Predator cell. If you don't want to use Predator and you think this build might need a little bit of more attack speed, you can definitely use Wild Frenzy. That would really be totally nice, and that would be 12.5% increased attack speed. But we'll go over more changes in this build as we go. For the chest piece, we're using Shroud's chest that has a Rage, and we're going to put a Discipline cell in there. For the hands, I really wanted Overpower, so we're using Torg's hands that has Overpower, and we're going to put another Overpower cell in there. For the feet, that's Charog's Volcanic Treads that has another Rage, and we're going to put a Rage Hunter cell in there as well. And then for the lantern, I wanted even more damage for this build because Cunning is not that great, so I wanted to have as much damage as I could, so I'm using Drask's Eye. That is a 30% increased damage for 6 seconds. But we're going to combine that with Zeal, which really boosts Drask's Eye, and it makes for a lot more damage, and it is really good, as you saw. If you think this build needs more attack speed, more mobility, I would suggest Shrike's Zeal. I wouldn't use Zeal if you use Shrike's Lantern. You could maybe use something like Etheric Attunement or Etheric Frenzy to increase your Lantern charge, because you're really going after the hold for this Lantern. If you want a real big strong boost of attack speed, you can definitely use Embermanes, but this is entirely up to you guys. You can definitely choose your own Lantern and then your cell for that. For the tonics, I highly suggest Assault Tonic, Frenzy Tonic, and Blitz Tonic as always, because if you're doing some in-game playing or you're in trials, definitely use these tonics. They're really good. In the Umbral Escalation, they'll still help increase your damage and your attack speed and your stagger damage, which is pretty cool and fun. So all in all, what we got going on here is a +6 Cunning, and that's a 10% critical strike chance. Remember, the weapon had a 10% critical strike chance, so that's 20%, but combined with Discipline, that makes it a 35% critical strike chance. And it also gives a 30% increased critical strike damage, so that's really dope. Discipline, we just talked about that, but it also, most importantly, cuts you at 50% health, which is really nice, so we can utilize Rage. Overpower, that's 60% damage versus staggered behemoths, and they will definitely be staggered, y'all. Rage, that's 25% damage because we're always running half health because of Discipline. And Rage Hunter is another 40% damage versus Enraged Behemoths, so that's really nice. And we talked about Predator, but listen, that's 15% extra damage if you can avoid to not get hit. So that's a lot more damage, but like I said, you could switch that out for Wild Frenzy or something else to your liking. And then Zeal, we also talked about that, but Zeal is really nice. That's a 35% Lantern Tap ability effectiveness. So with that said, that's increasing the damage that Drask's Eye is giving us. So as you can see, this build has a lot of damage, and it just so happens to have, you know, the max crit for this weapon. So it's really dope, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I hope you do too. Alright gamer, that's all I got for you today. Hey, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please share it with your friends. I really appreciate all y'all's love and support and all y'all's great ideas, because you know it inspires me to work even harder or even come up with even cooler ideas for you guys. So I want to thank you for that. And I probably said it already 1,000 times, I want to thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. Man, that is a crazy goal that I never thought I would reach so fast, and it's all because of you guys. I'm here to stay, and I hope you are too. See you on the flip side. This is Hans signing out. Peace, y'all.